Watoto. Before you enter the garden, you see that there are many windows that show you what the inside of the garden looks like. Let's go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay.
Okay. With 2 successes, Watoto, you see from the outside of this place that the inside of the garden is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It's full of these rotten plants, these sort of festering wounds all over them, leaking what seems to be similar to human flesh with purple blood. It's disgusting, to say the least, especially seeing all of these beautiful plants and herbs and mushrooms so tainted by this strange force that you've never seen before. Even from the outside of the garden, though, you hear the whispers intensify, but this time, those whispers, they seem a little angry. Almost as though they know what you plan to do. You hear the whispers intensify in your ears, and you're beginning to see that shadowy thing from your dream appear again in the corner of your eye, whispering to you, "What are you doing? This is not the plan. You can't destroy us."
Watoto bomb, mushroom, kill.
So be it. After you say that, the shadowy figure in the corner of your eye completely solidifies itself there, and it continues to get closer and closer to you. Do you enter the garden?
Enter, run.
Okay, you run and enter the garden. Even as you do run, however, it seems that the shadow is continuing to get closer and closer to you. The more that you run, the more ferocious it seems to be, the more desperately it approaches to you.
What do you want, Watoto?
We want you to help us, Watoto. We can give you many things. We can give you power beyond belief.
I want Mother Watoto.
You can't have her. She got too close. She knows too much.
Then I bomb.
All right, Watoto. When you say that, you hear something of a shrieking noise that seems to permeate your ears. What do you do with the bomb at this point? What would you like to do with it?
Set timer. Throw.
Okay.
Run.
All right, you set the timer, and you throw the bomb. And just like that, almost as though something has snapped inside of you, you feel that, let's see, 1 second, that's not the one I wanted. The shadows that are in the corner of your eye, have suddenly completely closed in on you. And now, you don't have a lot of options left, Watoto. The bomb is ticking down from 10 seconds. Now, you don't know what kind of effect this bomb is going to have on the entire plant, whether perhaps blowing up the plants will start off some kind of terrifying chain reaction that blows up the entire building. But whatever you do, you know that you must run, because the shadow is getting very close. And it looks as though if you don't run right now, it may completely blur your vision. So you need to run, and you need to make it a good run, Watoto. You need to take those feet and have them carry you all the way to the front. And in order to do that, you're going to need to roll a dexterity and athletics check to run as hard as you can.
1.
All right. Oh. Would you like to expend willpower?
Okay.
Okay. So that gives you 4 dice. Here we go. Oh, 4 dice. Here we go. and you begin to run. Oh no. Not great.
Oh.
Alright, Watoto, you make it just outside of the garden, and then you trip. You trip and fall, and suddenly, the shadow that was in the corner of your eye is no longer in the corner of your eye. Instead, now it is in front of you, something so terrifying that your brain cannot even comprehend it. Something alien, as mentioned before. Your human mind cannot fully understand it. But it looms over you, almost with this hunger. This is your last chance, Watoto. Your last chance to make a deal with us. We can save you. We can make you rich and powerful.
Watoto, trade. What do you want?
The shadows seem almost surprised. You guys do not have much time left. However, because of this being says, all right, we will save your life and take you out of this place, but you owe us a favor.
One favor, okay.
One favor, and we will come and take this favor at our own timing.
Okay.
And at this point, you see all around you, the shadowy thing has multiplied to be about 10 in a circle around you. It's almost as though they're oozing with this purple sludge that reminds you of the plants that you saw in the garden. They don't seem to be too happy about the fact that you're blowing up their garden, however. But because you will give them a favor, they seem to be granting your wish. And just like that, you are enveloped in a smog that completely engulfs you. The smell is just undescribable. Absolutely putrid, unlike anything you've ever smelled before. Yucky. And just like that, as it envelops your lungs, you suddenly feel the bomb go off. You feel it, almost as though it should be burning your skin. You can feel the heat singe at you. However, you are taken out of that place at just the right time.
Toto bomb, good. Work good.
Yes. And just like that, the garden explodes in fire and flames.
Nice job, Watoto. Nice.
Nice job. Watoto, you appear right outside of the factory. Right outside of the garden, at least. And it seems as though the guards are suddenly on high alert, seeing that the garden has exploded. They all rush to the scene. What do you do, Watoto? You could be taken in by the government if you don't get out of here.
Toto, eat that mushroom. Camouflage. Run.
Okay, you eat your final mushroom. Now, in order to actually have this mushroom be effective, let's go ahead and roll the crafts roll that you would have had to do before, in order to make a really effective mushroom that can mask you from the detection of these guards. Your crafts roll. It's going to be a wits and crafts.
5.
5 dice. Here you go. All right. With this roll, oh wow. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an exceptional success. So this mushroom is going to add 3 dice to your sneaking roll.
Oh.
Okay? So, I need you to go ahead and roll. Let's see. We'll go ahead and make it a wits and stealth roll.
Oh.
So it looks like your wits is 3, your stealth is 0. So normally it would be a 2 dice roll, but because of the mushroom, you get 5.
Watoto mushroom potent.
That's right. Leave it to Watoto's mushroom. Oh my gosh. Okay. With the power of Watoto's mushroom.
powerful.
Oh wow, that's
Very
a really
potent.
that's a really potent mushroom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. With 5 successes on what would have ordinarily been a 2 dice roll, Watoto mushroom is very strong, and you immediately blend into the trees behind you. And the guards do not see you. You completely manage to evade them. They have no idea that you are there, Watoto, but you watch the scene unfold before you. And you see a car drive up to the explosion. And out of the car steps a very well-dressed older man who regards the explosion.
Mayor.
And Mayor. In fact, from what you know at least, the mayor is a very big shareholder in this pharmacy. And something interesting that you see, Watoto, is that behind this mayor, one of those shadowy alien beings is looming and watching him as well.
Conspiracy, Watoto smell.
There's definitely some kind of deal going on here.
Corruption.
Indeed. The shadowy alien being almost seems to regard, however, this rich and pompous-looking older man with mockery. Almost as though, they see him as some kind of tool. At least that's the vibe that you're getting from this being. And just like that, the man in the car shakes his head, re-enters the car, and drives back off into the night. However, before they drive off, someone from inside the car takes out both of the guards that were there with 2 swift sniper shots.
Oh, while driving?
While driving.
Wow.
And they fall to the ground. Yeah, there's some skill. Almost inhuman. And the guards drop to the ground, but thankfully, Watoto, you were out of sight.
Yes, mushroom. Powerful.
And just like that, Watoto, you realize that the shadows aren't quite done with you yet. No.
I promised favor.
You did. And they seem to regard you. There's actually only one on either side of you, unable to completely look at them and comprehend them. You hear them speak to you very closely, almost as though they're speaking to you in your mind and not actually in any sort of discernible sound. But they whisper to you and say, "You are now a servant of the worm. Do you accept your fate?"
One favor, okay.
Excellent. And either side of you, the shadows completely disappear into sludge on the ground and sort of seep into the soil.
Goodbye.
They're gone.
Watoto, sleep now.
All right, Watoto, you are very tired. Let's see. And actually, the flames in the distance, they've almost completely destroyed the research lab. And it looks as though whatever plants were inside the garden are trying their best to resist the flames. But despite that fact, although they are kind of charred and burnt, they're still pulsating ever so slightly, almost as though there's something deep inside of them that can't truly be killed. But you are safe for the time being, Watoto. And the sun is beginning to rise. In the distance, you begin to kind of make your way back through the trees, away from the fiery glow of the flames, and the sun is starting to come up.
pretty.
Yeah, it is indeed a very beautiful sight. However, go ahead and roll a perception check, Watoto.
Okay.
And also, you can roll a perception check anytime that you would like. Just let me know. I'm going to roll a perception check.